We will refund $760,000 out of the $845,000 Bello paid us for kids' tuition fee. American school tells EFCC. Can you imagine this kind of thing now? So they actually paid $845,000, and they're not saying they will refund $760,000. How? Which kind of school is that? Are you sure this school is not being used for money laundering purposes? Okay, because this is money laundering, but it's also not far from fraud. That is it. So what kind of school is that? Is the school in Nigeria or the school is in abroad? That is the problem. That is the problem. So let's dive into the details to see the response that the school is giving to EFCC. The school, however, said it will make a refund of $760,910 as the EFCC intensified effort to prosecute Bello. The American International School of Abuja, it's in Abuja itself, AISA, has disclosed that the embattled former governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, paid the establishment $845,000 in advance as tuition fee of his children in Abuja. So Bello, who has been in the news for financial-related crimes, was said to have paid the money from the Kogi State government account to AISA as tuition fees for 5 of his children. 4 of the children were at the same time enrolled at the school from grade levels 2 to 8, while the 5th payment was for a future student to be enrolled. Can you imagine? You are paying school fees for a child that has not been enrolled. Now, wow. So the school, however, said it will make a refund of $760,910 as the EFCC intensified effort to prosecute Bello. Bello currently being investigated by the EFCC for all of these crimes. So he is facing a 19-count charge of alleged money laundering to the tune of 84 billion naira once arrested. So in a letter to the EFCC's Lagos Zonal Commander, AISA admitted receiving the $845,000 payment from the Bello's family starting on September 7, 2021. Can you imagine? So after deducting fees for educational services rendered, the school calculated that $760,000 should be refunded to EFCC. So the letter stated, we have calculated the net amount to be transferred and refunded to the state after deducting the educational services rendered as $760,000. Okay, is still pending. Can you imagine? So the school's management asked the EFCC to provide official banking details to facilitate the refund payment related to the alleged money laundering activities by the former governor, who was recently declared wanted by the EFCC. So the letter further read, we have calculated the net amount to be transferred and refunded to the state after deducting the educational services rendered as $760,910. Can you imagine? That is exactly what they have calculated. So no further additional fees are expected in respect of tuition, as the students' fees have now been settled until they graduate from the school. Can you imagine? So what are you doing with the excess payment? So can you see? So this school is also a corporate. They're using this school to move money. So this school need to be questioned, need to be quizzed. So how can they if out of $845,000, the other ones has paid for the children's school fees until they graduate. So what is $760,000 doing in your account? And you say you are not a corporate, you don't know what is happening? How can this happen? How can this happen? And somebody is responding here, say return all. It's not by returning all. The school they need to look for other things that the state, the school has collected money from the governor. That is it. Because it looks like the governor is using the school to launder funds. Now $845,000. What are they doing? Now they have calculated and see that the money they have removed can take care of the children till they graduate from the school. And the balance is still $760,000. Can you imagine that kind of thing? So what could you have been doing with $760,000 if the other ones has paid for the children's school fees until they graduate? So it means that they're being used to do laundry. They're being used to do money laundering. They're being used to move money. So that American international school in Abuja need to also be investigated. The question is that this is just Yahaya Bello alone. What about other politicians? How many politicians have their children in that school? How many of them have looked for this dollar to settle their school fees in Nigeria? Can you see now? Meanwhile, the government is chasing people from buying dollars to do their legitimate business. Meanwhile, and the what they call it, the EFCC and the CBN is telling Nigerians to grow Nigeria, buy Nigeria, spend the naira, don't spend the dollar in our country. Meanwhile, there's a school charging that kind of amount in Nigeria, and nothing is happening, and charging in dollars. And even the government officials are the ones paying in dollars. Meanwhile, the ordinary citizen that is struggling to find Gary 3 times a day is suffering somewhere. This is very, very bad, I tell you the truth. So Yahaya Bello has committed a lot of things, and these schools, and not only these schools, the same country will learn there is an Indian school there in Lagos that admit only Indians. Now, recently they discovered only this Chinese supermarket in Abuja that does not allow Nigerians to get in there. And these are the people using hard currencies to do their things. But meanwhile, Nigerian government will be beaming their light on vulnerable citizens on the street to do their job as if they know what they're doing. This is actually very disheartening. So now look at what Yahaya Bello is doing. That school, American International School of Abuja, need to be further investigated, identify how many high-profile politicians, especially politicians in Abuja, that have their children in that school, and how many of these politicians is this school helping to launder money. Because what I see there is that this school is being used as a vehicle to launder money. And I'm sure I don't understand how this is happening. But if you trace it, you'll be surprised that the politicians are using this school to launder money out of Nigeria. So this school need to be properly investigated. If you look at they need to do this job very well, let them not just give the school the bank details to refund the money and then they let them go like that. They need the aided and abetted money laundering and fraud, and they need to be prosecuted for that. That is it. American International School of Abuja need to be prosecuted for aiding and abetting money laundering and fraud for Bello. That is it. And for other politicians in Nigeria. Because what I see happening here is more, there's more to it than meet the eyes. So thank you for listening, and then let's have a comment.